Good afternoon, everybody, and a huge welcome to Google Digital Garage on this really quite sunny Friday afternoon. I hope you've had a good, sunny, warm, productive, eventful week. And this is a great way to bring it to an end before we go into the weekend with our Find Customers with Google Maps. So my name is Glenn, and I'm a trainer for Google's free skills training program, Google Digital Garage. I'm experienced digital skills trainer, and I've got a background in management and consultancy and really helping businesses identify ways to grow, keep up with all of the current tech trends. And Google Business Profile, Google Maps is a fantastic way for us to do this, to keep in touch with our local customers and make sure that we can really enhance our footfall, get people through the door and let people know that we're around with this brilliant online tool. Now, I'm not on my own today. I'm with the fantastic Tessa. So Tessa, you will find in the chat. So that will be just to the right of your screen or underneath, depending on what type of device it is that you're actually using. So please do say hello to Tessa and to me in the chat. That would be really good. I can't see you. This is a live session on YouTube. So it's great to know who's there and who's going to be getting involved. Interact with Tessa, say hello, ask her lots of questions throughout the session and she'll answer most of those for you. We do have a couple of pauses for questions throughout. So hopefully I can add a few points there as well. It's quite a packed session, so there's quite a lot to get through. So yeah, use Tessa to your full advantage. She's a really experienced Google Digital Garage coach herself and is an expert in this topic. Now, before we do actually get going, just want to make sure that everyone's as comfy as possible. If you are having any difficulties with audio or with vision, please just refresh your browser. That does tend to clear up most difficulties. It's that age-old adage of if it doesn't work, switch it off, start it up again, and it tends to work. Hopefully that will clear up any of the problems that you've got. Now, as I've mentioned with YouTube, you need to sign in order to interact in the chat. So sign into your YouTube account. If you haven't got a YouTube account, then maybe set one up. It's only a few clicks, minimal information, and you'll have access to a whole host of features, including the history function. So this session is going to be available for the next 24 hours on the link that you came in on. So if you've got a YouTube account and you watch and you want to come back and watch it again in that 24 hours, you can do, and you'll better find the point you left off on because of that brilliant history function in YouTube. So yeah, please do join up or sign in so you can get the most out of the session. Now, we're running this Google Digital Garage session as part of a much broader offering of courses on the Google Digital Garage site. That's g.co/digital garage. So have a look there. It's probably where you signed up for this one today, but have a look at the offerings there. We've got courses like the fundamentals of digital marketing, which will be a really good accompaniment to the session that we're going to be running this afternoon. That's a 40-hour video learning course. When you've passed that, you can download an assessment that's endorsed by the Open University. So it looks really good on your CV. Looks really good on your LinkedIn profile. Have a look at those, sign up for more webinars, sign up for anything that you like as many times as you like. We're here to help, and we want you to get a broad range of experience through listening to different trainers and understanding different points of view. Okay, so in this warmth, I can feel myself getting very warm in this room already. Let's move into the session now and have a look at what we're going to be covering this afternoon. So you can see that we've broken the session down into 3 distinct areas. We're going to be looking at creating our listing and getting ourselves verified. We're going to be looking at optimizing our listing, and then we're going to be looking at how we engage our customers and all of the functionality and all of the features, Street View, profile features, website builders, gift cards. There's so much to this fantastic free tool that we've got to cover this afternoon. So look at how you can really get into optimizing your listings. Now, before we do that, we are also going to mention a really great supplementary service that we have to the webinars and to the courses that I've just been talking about. That is the mentoring that you can see on screen. So Google are offering free one-to-one mentoring sessions for small businesses and charities that are based in the UK. Sign up, you're going to get an hour with a digital expert. You in the form that you fill in when you do sign up via that link, that's g.co/UK mentoring, which I'm sure Tessa will be happy to share in the chat for you. You're going to be able to choose the topic that you want to cover, and you're going to get some really good backwards and forwards in a conversation, which is going to be specifically for you and for your business. So a really, really valuable offering to have there. Please do sign up. Please use it to your full advantage and get yourself moving forward. All right, so let's get into the module now. Let's have a look at what we're going to be covering today. So we want to think about being online. We want to think about the advantages that we've got to being online, but we want to get into the mindset of our customers as well. So let's have a think about us, our search behavior, and how our behavior has changed over time with the invention of things like smartphones. We're always on the go. We're always going to be looking for ways to interact and find out information, probably in a very short amount of time. So people want to find information quicker than ever they have done before. So if we're getting into the mindset of our customers, you can see on the screen, you're going to go out for dinner tonight. Sounds good. You need to find a restaurant that you'd like to go to. So think about how you would do that. Think about the phrases that you would put into the search engine in order to help you to do that. Maybe you're going to go on to Google Maps, as we're doing here, to explore local businesses. Maybe you're going to go in through Google search. However you do it, let us know how you do it currently, and perhaps the words, the keywords, the phrases that you would type in order to find that perfect restaurant for your evening out, your hard-earned evening out. So what's your search process? Now, Tessa can share me some of your responses to that as I go. I'm a little bit ahead of you in time here, so I'll keep an eye out for any responses that do come in and give you a bit of a shout out as that happens. So yeah, find a restaurant. It's something we take for granted, I think. It's something that we may well just do as a matter of course now, but it's interesting to know how we do it and how our customers might be doing it as well. Now, think about how you did search for that restaurant. How did you choose the results that were right for you? What made you click? What was your decision-making process? There are going to be certain factors which are going to be really, really important to us, to our customers. Now, what search engine or platform did you use to do that? Again, could be useful because your customers could be doing the same. What words did you use to search? And what elements kind of affected your decision-making process? For me, I'm always going to be looking at the reviews. That's really, really important to me to find out if it's a good establishment, to make sure that any difficulties that business experiences, they clear them up quickly for their customers so that I get a good all-round experience. I think it's really important when we're talking about spending money. And again, that's going to be important for your customers too. I also like images. If I'm going to go to a restaurant, it's good to see what's on the menu, what's on offer. Clarity of information, lots of information there to help me to make that decision. So again, please do pop into the chat anything that you're doing in terms of your process to help you find the result that you want. And we can have a look at those as they come in. I'm sure we're all searching in reasonably similar ways, but there are also going to be quite a few ways in which we differ, little idiosyncrasies that we all have, little nuances in terms of phraseology, the way that we look. And that's going to be important because, again, you can expand that over your entire customer set. So we're going to list our business on Google Maps now. Now, Google Maps, Google Business Profile, they're interchangeable terms, which we'll be using throughout this presentation. Let's have a look at what it is that we want to do, the benefits that we think that Google Maps listing is going to bring when we're looking for products and services. Now, going back again to something I have briefly mentioned, and that is that a lot of people are using their smartphone. It's the device of choice when we're searching for products locally. Now, we might be out for a walk, we might be on the bus, we might be on the train, we might be just trying to find something. We might not want to travel too far. And this is why it's such a fantastic tool for local SEO. It's really important, I think, as a small business that you have these types of tools in your armory of marketing to let people know that you're around. There could be people that live really, really close to you or to your premises that just don't know you're there because they just don't walk down that particular street. So you can attract in people that might be at this point even traveling further to get a similar product or service to that which you offer that you might be able to help and jump in on and again alert people to the fact that you're there. So we've got some useful stats. When searching for local information, 33% of people look for business hours. It's good to know that you're open. 32% look for a location. So how far is it? That's important to us all. And 27% look for reviews, as I'd mentioned as well. Now, all of that information can be found on your Google Business Profile listing. So that's why it's really, really important. And that's why it's something that you can really, really use to your advantage. Now, one of the things to be clear on, as with perhaps any social media profiles that you have, is that it's good to have a complete listing. It's good to have as much information up as you possibly can. Now, this is because we have, as customers, lots of questions that we want to ask, lots and lots of questions indeed. And for us to not have to search too hard for them, for us to not really need to work too hard, I think is probably the key point there, is going to be key to a lot of customers who, again, might be in a bit of a hurry. So you're going to be more likely to be considered reputable. That's hopefully going to drive some of that footfall through and attract those online and or physical visits, depending on whether you're a product or a service. That in turn is then hopefully going to lead to more likely, bigger chance of you getting a purchase at the end of it. So the more information that you can offer your customers, the more that you can help them to understand you and what you've got, the more that it fits into their convenience levels, the better you're likely to do. Now, one of the key times I think that this tool came into its own was during lockdown, and we're still coming out of lockdown now. We're all getting back to normal, hopefully. But there were 3 businesses that we're going to highlight for you in some examples here, where keeping our customers in the loop during difficult times or during times when we've just made changes to our business, changes to our business hours or our offerings, our goods, whatever it might be, we want to keep our customers in the loop. So you can see 3 examples here. We've got Go East Chinese Supermarket, Uncle John's Bakery, and Little Box of Books. These are 3 businesses that really helped themselves during lockdown by ensuring that their information was up to date and that they let their customers know what was going on. These are genuine case study examples. There are sources to these. I'll ask Tessa if she wouldn't mind putting the links to each of these into the chat for you so you can research them a little bit more too as you go through. But let's start off initially with the Go East Chinese Supermarket. Now, they listed themselves on Google Maps after lockdown started, and it did lead to a 100% increase in online visitors. So a lot of these visitors, as we've mentioned, really, really importantly, were based locally. If you remember lockdown, we couldn't really go that far, and we had a limited amount of time to do it. And this really brought local businesses back into the forefront of people's minds. So this was really capitalized on by Go East Chinese Supermarket. They got a massive increase in their online visitors. And now that lockdown has finished, people finding them online, again, is building up. It's increasing because they are building their online presence and optimizing it as best that they possibly can. Letting people know that you're even still open for business at some points is going to be really, really key. And the Google Business Profile tool can help you to do that. Now, that's also echoed by Uncle John's Bakery. So he led up to or had quite a few changes made to his business, to opening hours and to what was available, and the new safety practices. There were health and safety practices that came in terms of social distancing. And they were able to be displayed on the Google Business Profile listing. So he displayed his business adaptations, promoted the online shop, and sold to new and existing customers. So was able to bring in new people that perhaps weren't using his establishment prior to the lockdown. Again, these are things which, as we move forward in time, have continued. Again, demonstrating the power of having a type of online presence if you don't have one already. So Uncle John's Bakery was able to sell to new and existing customers during this time, during the difficult time. And again, that's momentum with good marketing that Uncle John's Bakery has been able to maintain. Now, the next example is from Lindsay Pollard, who's the owner of Little Box of Books. There was an increase in homeschooling during lockdown, which meant the need for books would increase, and they really, really did. So she found that her website visits tripled, leading her to sell more books than ever. It sold the most books they've ever sold in a particular period of time during that difficult period, that homeschooling time, which I'm sure a lot of us can remember. With fondness, I hope. But the point being there is that, again, it's capitalizing on the opportunity and making sure that people can still lead as normal a life as is possible, even when out of the ordinary things are going on. So even when stuff like that isn't going on, you can see the advantage of keeping everything up to date, letting people know what you've got, and letting people make their own decisions based on that type of information. So those are really good case studies. Those are really, really important case studies to put into perspective some of the things that you can do with a local listing. There are 4 steps that we're going to demonstrate to you to create a Google Maps listing. We're going to create the listing on our Google business profile and complete that profile. We want to verify our business to make sure that we can demonstrate that it's ours, so that we are the ones that are able to manage it via Google search or via Google Maps. And then we're going to populate that listing again, making sure we're getting all the key information in there. We're producing some posts, we're getting some good imagery up there, and we're letting people know what's really, really going on. So the Google business listings sync with Google Maps. So we have to make sure that we get that core business information up, that we make sure that everything that our customers need at their fingertips is there, which we're going to run through in some detail. So creating our Google business profile there. Now, this the actual app you'll find is not available anymore. It's been something called sunsetted, which means it's been closed down. So now you manage all of your Google business profile listing and dashboard. You do that actually via Google search. You'll be logged in on your browser on Google Chrome to your profile. That will then recognize that this business is registered to that profile too, and thus belongs to you. And then you're able to look up your own business and find it. And then you're able to amend and make any alterations that you need live on search or live through the Google Maps listing as well. So you won't be able to download the app anymore, but the functionality and the usability is fantastically transferred across to Google search for your convenience. Again, there's been a lot of work gone in to make it as convenient as it possibly can be for you. Now, we've mentioned that we want our profile to be complete. Very, very important indeed. Our address, so that people can find us. The opening hours, so that people don't make wasted journeys. I've done that a couple of times with listings that have said they're open and I've turned up and they haven't been. That means I'm unlikely to go back as a customer again because of the inconvenience caused. Something that, again, could be of concern or of consideration to your customers too. Our contact details, if people have got extra questions that they want to ask us, that's no problem at all, because we're going to give them a couple of clicks and they're going to be through to us to ask those questions. We're going to have some good visual content, because one of the things that really catches the eye is good visual content. Think about when you're scrolling through social media profiles, what makes you stop, what makes you scroll, what makes you decide potentially on that listing. Visual content can come into that quite heavily. And of course, we're able to brand ourselves, get our brand going, make sure that we're being recognized across the platforms that we're on by ensuring that our logo is consistent, and we can implant that onto our Google business profile as well. Now, we do need to get verified. As I mentioned, this is just to make sure that you are the one that owns the business that's being looked at. So you can do this in a few different ways. You can search for your business on google.com/maps. You can find it, click on the listing and claim your business. Then you'll be able to provide the information that you need in order to complete the verification process. There are a number of ways that you can do that. One way is to get a postcard through the post, which does have the a little code on, which you then input, which then shows that that address is registered to you. Now, one question we do get quite a lot is, if I'm not a physical business, i.e. that people don't walk into my shop because I haven't got one, I'm a service, can I still use this tool? And the answer is yes, you can, because once you've actually verified your business, you're able to untick a box in the dashboard which says about broadcasting your address, and it will take it away, which means that people then won't be physically turning up on your doorstep, and you're able to have your pin in the map in a certain location, a certain area, a certain region, whatever it is that you define. So hopefully that does clear up that question for you, because this is a tool for products or for services. So we can verify now or later, but verify now is a really, really good choice. That's because you do get more functionality once you actually have verified yourself. You can see on the screen there a demonstration again of some of the things that you would see on the older app, but again the new formula is very, very similar indeed. But you can see in the middle there that there are lots and lots of different things that you can do, as well as once you have actually verified. So it's important that you do that as quickly as you possibly can. Populating your listing is going to be the next step. So we want you to optimize. Optimize is the word all the way through this. Keep an eye on it, creating a schedule, making sure that you're checking regularly. Now, It's really, really important that the information is up to date and accurate, as I've already covered, in terms of maybe even just those opening hours, making sure that people don't turn up when you're not actually around. So if you do make changes to your products, to your opening hours, to your location, whatever it might be, then you need to make sure that your listing does actually reflect these, so that, again, people just have the up-to-date information there, that you keep that credibility, that you maintain that trust with your customers, and so they keep coming back again and again and again. So that's really an overview of the initial early stages of Google Business Profile. It is, as I mentioned, a fantastic tool. You search for your business on Google Search, and you can complete and enhance your profile. You can share your share photos, share posts, see reviews from your customers, and more. So again, you can accumulate those all important reviews directly into the interface itself, and people find you. And of course, that is going to help you, again, once you're providing a good service, to keep those customers and get more and more coming in. People like me who always check the reviews before they use somewhere. Okay, we're going to move into our first pause for questions. I'm just going to have a quick check, but I can't see that any have come in so far. That's no problem at all. So please do, as I mentioned, just pop in, say hello to Tessa, say hello to me. Any questions that you get as we work through, we will do our utmost to answer those for you. Now, that's section 1 done. So the next thing we're going to do is move into section 2. So we've looked at the interface, we've looked at some of the benefits of having this great local presence. We've signed up. We're verified. Brilliant. We're online. So now we need to look at how we're going to optimize our listing and get the most out of this new venture that we have, because it's something that we need to manage, something we need to set time aside for, something that we need to pay attention to. So let's optimize our listing. You know, there may well be some key things that we've probably already mentioned. I need to update our opening hours if they've changed. I need to post more content because I've not posted for a while. Think about, again, how you react if you see people's profiles and they haven't necessarily really done a lot recently. That can affect my decision-making process, because you like to see that businesses are actually relevant, that they're current, and that they're keeping active. So therefore, you might well need to carve out some time, put some time aside, and make sure that you are giving this the attention that it deserves. It's a free tool, but it can essentially bring in more and more business. So it's well worth the time and the effort. So we want to stand out. We want to make sure that we're there. We want to stand out from our competitors. And the way to do this is to include that key information. Make sure that's up to date. Check it every few days, a week, a month, whatever it is. If anything changes, think, have I updated that on my Google Business Profile? You can get reviews. Now, that's really, really key for me, for many, many people indeed. So the more you can get, the better. Think about how you can appropriately set this up with people, how you can get people interested in leaving you that feedback. Maybe it's at your point of sale. Maybe it's a QR code. QR codes are really, really popular now for getting reviews in, because you get people to point their camera at the QR code. They get a web page come up. They'll take you straight to a form. Please fill out that feedback now. One of the reasons that it's important to do that is because we get distracted once we've done something. So we might have really good intentions to leave a review, but then something happens, life happens, and we can't do that. And of course, that's a potential positive piece of feedback that you've missed out on. So try and get them as early in the process as you possibly can. Try and formulate something which helps your customers to understand how important it actually is to get that feedback. Now, we want to utilize posts and photos as well, very much like a social media profile. Good posts, good offers. This is going on. We've got an event going on in our store at 4 o'clock next Friday. Come in, join in. We might have a 15% offer if you spend a certain amount of money or buy a certain type of product or service. Utilize your posts and your photos like you would do with any other promotion in order to really, really enhance this for your customers. And it's an enticing thing. So hopefully it gets people to come to you. One way to make sure that your listings are working over a period of time is to look at your insights. And we will cover insights a bit later on, but insights are on the dashboards too. It's the information, it's the clicks that people are making. It's the amount of views that you've got. It's where your clicks are actually coming from. It's the amount of people that have clicked on the call button. It's all of the things that you need to know to see, does any area of my listing needs to be rethought or redone to make people use it more? How many people are looking at my photos? All of the things that make your overall listing really, really effective are the things that you need to determine. Again, there are a lot of videos on YouTube that can help you in terms of optimizing a Google business profile. So use that with your insights and make sure that you are there ready and waiting for when your customers are searching for a business just like yours. Now, 96% of us are more likely to visit a business with opening hours on its listing. So that's a really, really high percentage. So people want to know what your opening hours are. I mean, we're a 24-hour society now. So we need to know, are you going to be open at a particular time? You know, things are a lot more fluid and a lot more flexible than they used to be. There's a 42% increase in direction requests for business with photos. Photos are important because it helps people to understand what it is that they're actually getting, what they can expect from their visit and from interacting with you as a store or a service or a product. So people like to have their expectations fulfilled. People also like to know what's coming. You know, we like to know that if we're going to spend some money, we're doing it for good reasons with a good organization. And 90% are more likely to interact with us if the phone number is visible. So even something as simple as having your phone number there and accessible and able to call through on that listing is going to help you immensely. You can see from the screen mock-up that we've got on the right-hand side there, a good demonstration, good photos, good pertinent business information that's ready to go, and that's ready there for our customers. Now, we want our core information to be up to date. You can see that's quite a simple interface to use. It's quite a simple way to do things. Everything's dropped down, everything's fields. So you can't really go wrong at all. So just take your time, set a bit of time aside to do that. Add a business description as well. Let people know who you are and what you are. You know, you want to make sure that everything adds up, that everything makes sense to your customers, and that you are on top of all of the key information. You know, you might be updating your payment information. You might not have been accepting cash at a particular time. You might have introduced new methods like any of the online vendors, really, like PayPal or Klarna. A really great place for you to be able to update that information. Again, could be one of the deciding factors for your audience in terms of whether they choose you or not. Now, COVID did bring about its own challenges, as I know most of us can attest to. So there were a lot of changes that were made through to this app during that time. So it was made a lot easier to update opening hours with lots of flexibility, different hours that you can have for each day. And you can add those posts now as well. You can turn on messaging so that you are your own customer service department. Essentially, if you have a business, you can turn on messaging so that customers can potentially message you. You can edit your business description very easily indeed, again, in terms of any changes, or you just want to update with some more keywords, key elements of your business, again, to help people to find you from that search engine optimization perspective. One of the good things is you can utilize Google Trends as well. So you can really helped yourself to understand what words people are using to find businesses like yours and how popular those terms have been over the previous week, month, year, 5 years, right the way back. And you'll see how different words have accelerated use over different times, like the search near me. You didn't find a lot of that in the search engine up until about 2015, and then the accessibility and the local options really opened up, and now a lot of searches include those really important keywords near me. So maybe those sorts of things are words that you want to be looking out for and incorporating into your wider search engine optimization strategy. You can also highlight temporary closures if you had any of those. So you've got a really flexible interface, something that you can really adapt, something that recognizes that not all businesses are the same, something that really recognizes that although there's a lot of key common information that's available, for us to really operate optimally as a business, we need to be able to take into account the little quirks that we have. So you can sign into your Google business profile and have a look at all of those. Now, as I say, I would advise you perhaps just to take a little bit of time to really work through systematically. Often work with someone else as well. Get people to have a look at what you've done. Get people to have a look at your listing so that in case they've got any extra questions that you haven't actually thought of. That's always a good one. What questions are still in people's minds that maybe you can get onto your listing and answer them before they've even been asked by your customers. It's a great strategy. So have a look at all of the functionality that you have available. And again, just work on the words, work on them being compelling, work on them grabbing the attention of your customers to draw them in. So that leads very nicely into creating these engaging posts. Now we want to add a good title, a relevant title, as with all things search engine optimization, as with anything to do with marketing as well. Your messages need to be relevant. They need to be relevant to what you have on offer. You need to be genuine and authentic. And you also need to understand what it is that your customers are looking for at any given time. Now, you can share a variety of different types of posts on your Google Maps listing. You could put offers up there. As I've mentioned, everyone loves an offer. Everyone likes to think that they're getting a little bit more than perhaps someone else, or they're getting a discount. People love that. You could also be running some events in your shop, or you could also be running an event somewhere else that you would really like your customers to see. So you can put those in as well. And you can, of course, highlight your products and services. So you want to add a title in 4 to 5 words so that it stands out to your customers. When you're writing the title to your post, you've got about 58 characters, I think it is, at your disposal. Provide a call to action. Now that's a CTA, call to action. So key. Calls to action are one of the few times in life where you can actually genuinely tell people what to do and they appreciate it. Because you're helping them on their journey. It's the user journey. So you're helping them through. You're helping them to understand how to do the next thing. And that next thing is going to be something that's important to you and your business. So it could be buy now, click here, call us, email us, message us, whatever you want your customer to do. And it's going to be as equally important to your customers because they are probably going to be the things that they want to do as well. So again, a meeting of minds, commonality in terms of the user journey through your site. So use good videos and use good photos. Photos need to be simple and direct and clear. We're going to be running through some good examples of some businesses' photos later on in the presentation. But everything that you're doing needs to be really funneled towards making your customers want to engage with you. That is the bottom line. So everything needs to read well, needs to be clear, needs to be well presented. The experience part of interacting with any business, as I've already mentioned, is so important. And that is why we'll come back to reviews. Again, it's something to really focus on. You can see on the screen that there are 3 different types of screens up there, different reviews, different numbers of reviews. It's a really useful thing to have because it's all very well for any business to say, yes, we're really good. And this is why we're really good. This is, why I think we're excellent, but it's often very much a different story when it's other people, customers, that are writing those reviews in. So you can see some nice high scores, a 4.9 out of 5, a 4.5 out of 5. So that's going to help me to think, yeah, these are reputable businesses. These are businesses which I would consider interacting with. The reviews are good. They provide great customer service. They provide quick service. They fix any difficulties very quickly. All of the things that add up in our mind to make us think, okay, this is definitely going to be a place where I'm happy to spend my money. Get reviews, as I say, think about point of sale, think about anywhere that you can find our process, which is going to make it easy and convenient for your customers to leave you reviews. So it's something that I guess you could spend a fair amount of time on. It's back to the encouragement element of this. It's finding a way to do it so that people feel like they're helping you out, because people do love to help out. And of course, people always want to have their say. So that's why reviews are perfect. So empower people, empower your customers to have their say, because they often enjoy getting involved. They might make a suggestion for you in your business that you just hadn't thought of, that could really help you in terms of building more business as well. So build relationships with your customers by that excellent customer service. Review your business online, ask them to do that, and make it really simple. So adding a URL that perhaps links to a website or doing that QR code thing can be something that can be really, really effective. I wouldn't ever incentivize people in terms of, paying people to leave you reviews. I think it takes away the authenticity. And don't leave reviews for yourself as well, because it will be very clear that you've done that. And of course, again, that could perhaps take away some of the credibility that you're working so hard to build. So have a good think about what you could do to encourage customer reviews. Give it some time. Again, maybe talk to other people that you know or other people with businesses. How do you get reviews? What do you do to do that? Let us know if you've got any ideas in the chat as well. Let us know if there's a particular type of strategy that you take to help get your reviews and how that's been going for you. We'd be really, really interested to know. Okay, so while you're pondering on the reviews, let's move into the visual element, the photos and videos. So 90%, I mean, it's a great stat on the screen, of people say they're more likely to visit a business with photos. So get some photos. You can see on the screen a really nice photo. If that was a bakery, present your photos well. Again, make people want to enter your world. Look at the cakes that are on view on that particular screen. That's making me pretty hungry, but it also shows the high quality and the fact that the business has really put some thought into how they want to promote their goods to their customers. So the top tips for taking photos: lighting is really, really important. You make sure that your image is well lit and the subject matter is clearly visible. You want to eradicate as many shadows or dark patches as you possibly can. It's often good to make sure the light's coming from behind the camera, directed towards the particular object. If you can't achieve this, or if, in the UK, it's often quite grey a lot of the year, you might need to get or invest in an LED light, an arc light, whatever it is that you feel is going to best suit your purposes. Again, there are lots of fairly cheap examples of these on a lot of the online marketplaces that you can find that hopefully will fit into your budget. You do want good focus on your photos. Try and avoid blurring the shot. Even your cameras on your smartphones are going to do an excellent job and produce very high quality images. Editing is another story. Editing, again, you have to be really, really careful to make sure that everything that you have, it flows well, that you've got all of your key messages in any videos that you make. But edit your photos, add light to them, optimize them. Again, a lot of apps are going to offer you that functionality to make sure that those photos really stand out. And we are going to have some examples of those on the next screen, just to give you some good and some not so good examples. So on the top row, you can see that the photos for your Google Maps listing. Look at the top, you can see the whole of the storefront. On the second photo, you can see the interior, you can see what's on offer, you can see what's really, really working for that business. And the photos at work, they're happy people working in your establishment, having fun and showing people what goes on, building a picture that people can use in their minds. When you look at the 3 photographs next to the red X, you can't really see what's going on in any of them. They're not ideal from an exterior, an interior, or a photos at work perspective, because they don't really tell a story. What you really, really want are your photos to tell a story, and for you to ensure that that story is clear and, again, as enticing as is possible for your customers. So let's have a look at the exterior photos. You can see that the business name is visible. That's useful. Again, you might be coming in, might be walking. I mean, that's quite a distinctive shop front anyway in terms of the color, but the business name is visible, so it's easy to find. The shop front is in frame as well, so you can see all of it. Again, it's quite easy to recognize based on the quite distinctive colors that you've got there. But again, a good piece of marketing to show people exactly what's on offer. And you can locate the business if you're walking down the street. So you might have parked up, you might be in a hurry. Again, visibility is going to be absolutely key. How do I find this business really, really quickly and get what I need to get done? So those are really nice examples from an exterior photo perspective. Now, if we move on to interior photos, you can see here that the image is bright and well lit. It's a great photo. It's not dull in any way. And again, I think that really does just, in our minds, paints a very positive picture of the establishment. So really, really important to get that lighting to where it needs to be. There's a wide selection of products, so you can see what's going on. That's really useful too. This is what I can get. Oh, I didn't know they sold those. Again, all of the things that you want your customers to recognize about you, all of the important things that are going to help them get through the door, visit you, or make a further inquiry. And you can just see, you know what business this is. It's really, really clear. It's really, really just, you know, you don't have to work too hard to understand what this type of establishment is. Now, photos at work, there's some great examples here as well. So showcasing your skills, really, really showcasing what you need to showcase. We've got this barbers, which is on show right there. You can see the quality of the service on offer. That does look like a really good, well-established firm. Nice use of the mirror in the background there to really make the premises look bigger. You can see the guy hard at work. You can see he's well presented, well dressed, and you can see that it is a really, really clean and nice shop. So you can get the atmosphere and get a feel for the atmosphere and the decor of the business. Again, it could be something you think, yeah, that looks really nice and clean. That's somewhere that I would like to go. Now, what we can also look at, as we've mentioned previously, the insights for our business listing. These are so important because we want to understand our customers' interactions. If you've got a website and you use a tool like Google Analytics, you'll already know the importance of being data-driven, and the insights within your Google business profile help you to become data-driven. They help you to make decisions based on facts and interactions that are happening. Now, we can increase traffic to our stores, we can market ourselves to our customers, but we need to then have a look at the methods that we're using and look at the tactics that we're using and see which ones work best. You know, we can see the impact of our photos, we can see the impacts of our posts, we can see the impacts the reviews are having on traffic to our site, and we can get all of this information, and quite a bit more actually, from the insights area. Now, what that can help you to do, so you can see there in a couple of the examples, the times of day that people are interacting, how far people are traveling. So how far will people travel for a business like yours in terms of you extending your reach? Maybe you'd be doing a paid campaign somewhere. Maybe you'll be working hard in other areas of your digital marketing. And again, you can use some of the insights that you can see here to help you to do that as well. So please do check out all of the insights that are available to you. They're going to help you out no end. So how customers found your listing, what they did when they found you, where they clicked through, what they clicked on, where they're coming from in terms of that distance, when people engage the most. So when are people looking for you? Is it lunch hours? Is it breaks? Is it after work? Is it before work? And how your engagement compares to similar listings, because you are benchmarked against similar listings in your category. So a couple of examples here. What would you do if these were your insights? So if you looked at these insights, you can see the peaks and the troughs. So this listing has more photo views than competitors, which is a positive thing. So to stay ahead of the competition, then you should ensure that you're posting your photos regularly and often in order to stay ahead as well. Now, this doesn't, the listing, the insights that you can see doesn't really mention that there's any customer photos or reviews. So you can deduct from that, perhaps, that you should work to encourage your customers to leave the reviews that we were talking about and perhaps ask them to post some photos too. That will then help improve your reputation and your store's reputation and build a sense of trust with your potential customers. So it's what you can extract from insights that's really, really important. Now, again, same here. Image B, which you can see on the screen, shows a high amount of views from Google searches and far fewer from Google Maps. So maybe you need to optimize your Google Maps listing as traffic from that source is quite low. Now, aim for a Maps listing and follow the steps that we just covered today to maximize the listing as well. So as mentioned, it's all about drawing deductions and making sure that you're working hard for people to understand the most about you in the most effective way, and you understanding your customers accordingly. So understand your audience's behavior, key part of any insight kind of regime or analytics regime. Understand your audience, get to know your audience and what it is that they want, because then you can adapt to their needs, and that will help you then reach new customers as well. So these are all really, really key areas for you to consider, because you know, if you're adapting to people's needs, then maybe that's come through some of that feedback. Maybe you talk to people on a daily basis and start to understand the things that they like about what you do, or the things that they feel that you could improve. What a fantastic way for you to, that's vital intelligence for you and for your business. So you can't underestimate the power of that. Now, understanding your audience's behavior is really, really important. So we can find if people have found you from a direct search. Did they type your business's name into a search engine? Have they looked for you from a certain type of brand or brand related to your business? And you'll also find the total amounts of searches, the total number of direct or discovery searches or branded searches. Because once you understand how people are finding you, then you can kind of understand their journey, and then you can increase your visibility via that information as well. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the second section. I'm just going to have a quick look to see if there are any questions that have come in so far. So nothing's come in so far, no problem. Hopefully you're finding some useful information, some useful tips, some useful ways to really market your business effectively on this fantastic tool. It's a no-cost tool. It's free for you to use, free for you to sign up to. So even if you've got a website or you haven't got a website as of yet, having this as an extra arm, maybe you've got social media profiles, again, another way for your customers to find you. Customers like to have a bit of variety. Customers like to check you out in a number of different ways, again, on that trust and credibility basis. So having this profile can be really, really key. Now, also just to mention that we will be asking you for your feedback today. That's GOO.GLE/Digital Garage Feedback. If you could just take a couple of moments just to fill that in, Tessa will share the link for you in the chat for that. Let us know how you're getting on with the presentation. Let us know how useful that you found it today. And let us know the things that we can do to improve, to help you to advance yourself and your business even more. This is our customer service offering to you. So please do take advantage of it so that we can help provide even greater services in the future. Now, there are lots and lots, as I mentioned, lots and lots of features. We've delved into a number of them, the key core business information that we're going to need to optimize. But there are lots of other things that we can do with our Google Business Profile listings. Lots and lots of things that we can enhance, lots of things that have been built in. That, as I've mentioned, the app at this point has been sunsetted, but all of the functionality is there and being added to on a regular basis to make this tool as invaluable as it possibly can be. So we're just going to run through a couple of these features for you right now. Now, think about what you're doing all the way through this. What are you doing? Are you incorporating any of these elements? Are there features that are coming up that you think could be useful that you're not utilizing already at the moment? And also just let us know, would these things work for you if you weren't aware of them beforehand? That's really useful for us to know as well. Or any other suggestions for things that you think could be useful as an update to this tool in the future. So we're going to cover categories. Just having a look into categories and making sure that we're reflecting ourselves as well as we possibly can. The bookings that we can take, you can incorporate your bookings. So if you're a business that takes bookings, that needs people to sign up, you can actually do this now directly through the interface when you sign up to a third-party provider. You can bring in Street View for that 360 image, and again, that accessibility feature. You can add a free website that you can build from your Google Business Profile listing. That's really, really handy. If you can't really afford a big website at the moment, you can still have a website presence by using that part of the tool. And you can also use gift cards and donations so that your customers can interact with you, leave donations. And again, maybe they're going to buy presents for someone else and they're going to buy a gift card for your establishment that they're going to give to a friend or a family member. So let's have a look at these in a bit more detail. So choosing your business category is really important. You're going to be asked to choose a category when you set up. So set a category. It helps your business appear across relevant searches. So all part of that magnet of being found in the search that people are actually putting into place. So setting your category helps your business appear in relevant searches across Google Business Profile and Google Maps. It connects you with customers looking for businesses similar to yours. So this can give your business a real boost if you really do target those local customers, as a lot of us do. So you need to make sure that you're as specific as you can when you choose your primary category. So if you are a nail salon, then choose nail salon rather than just salon. make it as distinct as it possibly can be. Don't add too many categories in. Absolutely no need for you to do that, as that can dilute your listing and again can make some of those comparisons and benchmarking sections a little bit less effective. Again, I'm sure Tessa has done this, but she's going to be sharing with you in the chat the support pages to Google Business Profile and Google Maps. So make sure you have a look through. It answers all of your questions. It shows you how to do it. It gives you the rationale behind doing it and lots more information. So again, as with any tool that you're going to be using that could potentially be affecting your income, have a good look through the support pages and make sure that you are as up to date with everything that's going on as is possible. So you can increase your bookings. So you're going to sign up. You can sign up to a third-party provider. There are lots and lots of those available. So you can help your customers to really book appointments with you. Now, certain third-party booking services might automatically appear on business profiles. These links can't be edited, but you can contain up to 2 links for your customers or add up to 10 links per category as well. So when people are booking, make sure that your business is clearly something that needs the booking category. It won't be there for all types of businesses if it's not read that you need any of those as part of your day-to-day offerings. So you can integrate lots of the other Google tools like Calendar and automatic reminders so they don't miss their bookings. That's really handy. So your appointment is at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Don't forget that, and we'll see you there. I look forward to seeing you. So lots and lots of ways to keep that communication flow going with your customers and really build good interaction. Now, we mentioned about Street View. So there are a few benefits to adding Street View through to your listing as well. Oops, went too far there. So it provides even more information for your customers. It gives them a good visual tip. It gives them a good visual oversight. That is for sure. Accessibility wise, if you have perhaps like a virtual tour, you get your customers to have a real flavor of the atmosphere and the ambience of the store. It can help you to humanize your brand. It can give people a bit of that behind the scenes stuff that they really like. You know, this is really important too, because people want to know what's going on in the business and behind the business, as well as just the physical products or services that you offer. Now, people research you, so they much want to see, as we saw from the photos, what your storefront looks like, what you look like, how accessible you are, what parking there is nearby. Do they need to spend more on car park parking? Can they park outside the store? Having a street view really helps people to make those decisions as well. So it's going to help you attract that local target audience very strongly indeed, and get people walking in through the door. You know, it's that thing of they can find you on maps, they can set directions on their smart device to help bring them exactly to your door if they're coming from the train or from the local bus stop. It's a really good way to ensure that people don't get distracted on their journey through. Now, I mentioned about the free website. This is really good. Customers are likely to buy from a business that has a website rather than one that doesn't. So it's that first impressions count thing. You know, you might not be able to afford a website right now, but you can build one. And this is why then having all of your information on Google Maps is so important in terms of your listing, because it will build you a website, and that website will be findable via a search engine as well. It's a very simple website. It gives very simple information built from the information you've put in, but it can be really vital again, and it's another free online resource. So not having a website can potentially lose you revenue. So if you don't have one, this is something that you could certainly consider doing. So building a free website for your business, there's the website builder tool. Again, you can find all of this via the dashboard that you'll find when you go into Google search. You're going to enter in your business name, and then you're going to choose whether you want your location to appear on the map. Then you can choose a layout, a design, and the text you want to appear, and the photos from your repertoire of what it is that you want to use. So you can see here, just on the screen now, there's your free website. So that is built up of the photos, of the text, the titles that you've got on your website, and it's got that all important call to action, that CTA that we mentioned. You know, it's just telling people what to do next, where to click. If you're in South Lanarkshire and you fancied those singing lessons, get a good photo, someone really enjoying themselves. Again, it helps you get into the mindset of, yeah, I'm really looking forward to having these singing lessons, and that's a great photo, and I want to sign up as quickly as I possibly can. So having that call to action is going to be absolutely vital to get your customers through to the next step, take them through to your booking form, book up that time, and of course that's revenue coming in through your door. Okay, so we're coming up to the final pause for questions now. So again, I can't see that any have come in. So as a quick recap then, and what we're going to be thinking about doing next is take a bit of time, look at all of the support pages that you possibly can, look at how you can optimize your listing. Go and do some research on how people have optimized their listings. There's a great deal of information via the Google support site. There's a great deal of information that you can find in terms of techniques and in terms of how people have been getting on. If you go into YouTube, you know, there are so many people online who really love to share best practice. So that again could give you some tips and ideas. Compared to research is a really good thing, because what it can help you to do is think, okay, that is the type of thing that I would find really, really useful for my website. And I think that works really, really well. And you can start to accumulate a few ticks in the box. I'm going to do that with mine. I'm going to do that with mine. I'm going to do that with mine. Again, in your own style, in your own manner, but nonetheless, best practice is best practice. But it also helps you think, I don't like that. I don't think that works particularly well at all. So that's something that I'm definitely going to avoid doing. So that can be just as useful in that process of elimination, in that process of optimization. So take a bit of time before you go in and do your listing. Look at how other people have done theirs. Look at what's effective. Look at what visual elements they've incorporated. Look at the posts that they're producing. Look at how often they're producing posts. Look at how often they're putting up offers. Look at how often they're actually updating the content on their site. That is going to give you an extremely useful way for you to get better and better at optimizing your listing and thus driving more people through the door. Okay, so I hope that's useful. Now, there might be something in this presentation today you want to talk about specifically. So go through to our one-to-one mentoring available. That's g.co/UK mentoring. So go through to that service. As I mentioned, it's a one-to-one service. You'll get an hour with a digital expert. You choose the topic that you want to discuss. So get yourself prepared before you do that. Think about the things that you want to discuss, the things that are going to be useful. As I said, there might be something from this presentation you want to go into in more depth. That's what we're here for. Myself and Tessa are both part of the mentoring service. It gets and produces some fantastic results that could help elevate you and your business in 2023, and help that revenue build over time, something I'm sure that most of us are not going to turn down. So that's really, really important to do. Use the service. If you're a small business or a charity that is based in the UK, then please do sign up. You can have multiple sessions, so work through systematically, set yourself some targets and some goals, and then perhaps come back for another session later on. Okay, so all that really leaves me to do is to say thank you very much indeed. Please leave us your feedback on goo.gle/digital garage feedback. If you're posting on social media, then post your great tips on #digitalgarage so that other people can see the usefulness that you've gathered from some of these sessions. Sign up for more of our sessions on g.co/digital garage on our website. All of those webinars, the courses, and hopefully we will see you again soon on another Google Digital Garage live session. So have a fantastic weekend. Hope it's sunny. Hope you have fun. And we'll see you all again very soon. And goodbye. Thanks a lot.